Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody had a wonderful work day today. And if you were off, I hope you had a wonderful day off as well. I had the day off today. I had a few things to get done. So, I decided, hey, take the day off. And, I had to drop the wife off at the airport this morning so she could fly out to Berlin, Germany to see her family. So, it's been about 11 years since she's been, out to see her family and stuff in Germany, her mom and her grandma. So it was time for her to take a trip to go see them and check on them, make sure they were good. So, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the main reason why I had to take off, because I had to take her to the airport. So in the meantime, so after I took her to the airport, I was like, I can get my stuff done that I needed to get done anyway. So, so basically wanted to share with you guys some things about, the suspension setup that's going on Tuff. And if those that don't know who Tuff is the titanium metallic Escort that Jasmine Daly's. It's got the different color fender, front bumper, and all that stuff. So, just wanted to show you guys Tuff. This, for those who didn't know who Tuff was, Jasmine named the Escort Tuff. So, that's what we call her. So, so just wanted to share a few things with you guys on the setup I'm running here. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm running these Ebach coilover springs with the sleeve here. I'm running these on the KOIB XLG struts. This setup I've always ran on all my street Escorts for years, and it's been the best setup ever, I feel like, anyway. So, but yeah, it's been a pretty cool setup. So rides smooth, handles good, all that good stuff. So, but just wanted to get on and share a few things with you guys and show you guys some things. So real quick, so here's your strut, right? So, of course, right here, there's your seal. There's a seal right there. All right, and the seal actually has a cap that goes over it like this. All right, so the reason behind me taking this cap off is because I actually had to modify it because the sleeve wouldn't slide over it. So now that I've gotten the sleeve to work, it fits down in here like so. I'm gonna push it down like that, and it fits flush, and then I can sit it right down on here. And without me doing that, it wouldn't fit in here at first. It would not fit. So I grounded it down a little bit, modified it some so to actually fit down in there. Let's see if I can pull it back out and show you guys one more time. But yeah, I noticed that, and I was like, oh, what am I going to do now? I didn't want to run the strut without the cap. Just don't like doing that, because if any dirt gets in here, you can screw the seal up, and then you're going to ruin your strut. So, but yeah, that's see where I had to grind it down a little bit to get it to work. So, but so just wanted to share that with you guys. Sometimes you might have to pop this cap off and modify it to get your sleeve to go in there, right? And if you notice, see, I believe they make different size sleeves, because this sleeve here, see how it has like a step in it, and because at first I was gonna run it this way, but of course it wouldn't even fit going that way. The sleeve's a little beat up, but yeah, I was gonna run, that, but it didn't work that way. So the best way to do it was to grind it down as much as I could and just fit it down on the top. That way it would fit all the way down to that lip right there. So that worked out good. So basically, it'll just sit down on here like this with this here, this cap. And then, of course, your spring will go on there. And then, top hat. Now, you can run these one or two ways. You can actually run the factory strut bearing in the aftermarket top hat, Or you could just run the top hat like that with the factory upper spring perch. Well, I call it top hat, spring perch. I call them both. You can run your upper factory spring perch with the, of course, factory bearing in it. Let me see if it, yeah, with the factory bearing there, and you can set it on top like that. You know, that's how I have some of my stuff set up. I ran mine like this for years. Didn't have a problem, but you can run them either way. I mean, that way, if you run it without this and just the bearing on top of the actual spring perch there, the bearing will just ride inside the it'll ride inside here where it rides inside there from the factory anyway. So they do that so you don't have to run this, but sometimes I do, and it just depends on the suspension that I got and what I got going on. But yeah, you can do that either way. You can do that either way. So if anybody was curious if this bearing will work on top of this hat here, it will. And then you can just run, you know, like I said, like so. You can just run your top hat, your spring mount like that, and it'll ride right in the top. So, but yeah. So I just wanted to get on and share this with you guys. And another thing I wanted to touch base on is when you're running, you know, any type of coilover, whether it be a full-blown coilover or a you know, coilover sleeve, both of them have spring rates. So you need to learn and understand what spring rate you're going to need for your car. If it be for racing, like drag racing, because we drag race. So I got Jasmine's car set up on a set of full-blown coilovers. And all our street stuff has got, you know, coilover sleeves on it. Now, I'm not claiming to be an expert. You know, some of the racing I do not do, like the road course, rally, SCCA, stuff like that. Road course racing and all that. I don't do that. I don't know nothing about that stuff. I know a lot of guys run a whole lot of different suspension setups on there. Yeah, I just, you know, that I don't get into. Only thing I do is street drive, cruise, go to car meets and stuff like that with our stuff, and then we drag race too. So I know how to set my stuff up to drag race our cars. Now, I can help somebody try to set their car up for drag racing as far as like the coilover setup, but I know it works for my car, our cars. I don't know it's going to work for someone else's because, you know, the difference in power is going to make the suspension react different. So that's why I don't really get into a whole lot of, oh, just do this, because like, say for instance, Jasmine is running a 644 pound spring in the back of her Escort and a 390 up front. I put the heavier springs in the back because her car squats really bad when she leaves the line. So it works. I took it down. We took it down the track a couple times. I've tried it on the street. It works. Works way better than the factory stuff was. Well, the factory stuff was just wore out anyway. So that setup works for that car. Now that setup might not work, you know, on one of my cars, you know, or somebody else's car. It just depends on the power level, and it just depends on the rest of the setup of the car. So, but like I said, I'm no expert, but, you know, I just, you know, I will say that anybody that's messing with suspension, whether it be, like I say, full-blown coilovers, like one-piece coilovers, or, you know, coilover sleeves, spring rate is a spring rate, and you need to learn what that car particularly likes as far as spring rate. You know, you can get the wrong spring rate, be too soft, get the wrong spring rate, be too hard, you know, and the car ride like crap, you know, either way if it's not right. But what I mean by full-blown coilovers is like this setup here. That's on slush box. So as you can see, you know, it's one piece, you know, they come just like that. It's one piece coilover. But yeah, so gotta learn your spring rates. And I will say this, you know, those that do not know, so like ground control, this is the way they do theirs. So your first number there, your first set of numbers, 600, that's actually 6 inches in height. Then your second number is 250, that's 2.5 inches diameter. And then your last number there, 450, is it? Yeah, 450 is actually the weight rating of the spring is 450. So so again, so usually reading left to right on a spring, whether it be EBOC, OBX Racing, what's the other one they have? Like Skunk, stuff like that. You know, their stuff may be set up a little different on their numbering, but I know on the EBOC ground controls, I've been dealing with these for years, and you know that reading left to right is going to be spring height, spring diameter, spring weight. So those 3 numbers, that's what they represent. Some may be different. Some may say like 11.5 K, and then you just got to convert it to pounds, which 11.5 K is like 644 pounds, something like that. So, but yeah, just want to figure out, get on and share that with you guys. A little bit on suspension, like, you know, like I said, I'm not no like expert or nothing like that, you know. But I mean, I've been running the coilover sleeves for a while, and I actually just set up Jasmine's track car on full-blown coilovers. So, you know, still learning those a little bit, and the car rides. It's set up and rides good, launches good, goes on the track good. So I think I did something right. So, but yeah, I just want to get on and share that, man. And just like I said, just always learn your spring rates. You know, always learn your spring rates. Once you learn your spring rates, spring heights, diameter, stuff like that, that way you'll be able to mix and match springs with different dampers, different struts, stuff like that. And I've been doing that for years too. I've done a lot of research on suspension, and I know it works for what we do. You know what I mean? So, but just wanted to get on and you know, share that with you guys. And yeah, man, like I said, you know, just always learn your spring rates. 9 times out of 10, if you got a car that rides like crap, you didn't really take the time to figure out what the spring rate was. I know a lot of people, this is just my opinion, I'm going to say it like this. A lot of people say, oh, well, those coilovers are junk. That's why my car rides like crap. Well, the coilovers might be low in cost, you know, or lower quality than something that's higher quality. But if you have the correct spring rate, you won't be able to tell that they're lower cost, you know, dampers or struts, because I mean, I've done it a lot, you know, a few times on a few cars, and you know, it's just as far as the actual sleeves go, and you know, I mean, I've had good luck with messing with, you know, cheaper stuff, you know, making it work. My SHO Taurus, a 93 SHO Taurus, has got max speeding rods on them, and they've been on there for, I think, 4 or 5 years. I mean, ride great. You know, and they're lower cost struts and stuff like, I mean, full-blown coilovers. So, yeah, I mean, they work for me. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they don't work. They will work for someone else, but somebody that really don't quite know about suspension, your spring rates are very important, your heights and all that stuff. So just study that and make sure you learn that, and that way, you know, you don't get a spring rate that's too high. Like if you get a spring rate like this says 450, so I mean, if it was like 600, that means it would be the higher the number, the harder the spring. So if your car is not heavy enough for that particular spring, it's going to ride terrible. And sometimes if your car is too heavy for a spring rate, it'll ride terrible. You can blow your struts too. But yeah, I just want to get on and you know, share a little bit of knowledge on suspension, you know, that we run on our Ford Escorts. You know, I hope this helped. Hope this helped a lot of people out. I try to be as detailed on my content as possible. Some things I might miss. You know, I don't know everything. You know, I'm just speaking off of what I've learned and what I've done. So I can't speak for no one else. I can't sit here and say, oh, this set of suspension is better than this. And no, I haven't done that because I haven't experimented with everything out there. But what I have experienced with is what I have experienced with and what I've messed with. And, so far I've done it right. So, but yeah, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. A lot of the times I find my suspension in the junkyard. Like, I found this set of coilovers and I'm putting on this car right now in the junkyard. On different cars. Every time I see a set of coilovers, whether it be sleeves or full blowns, I get them because you never know. I mean, I've got it to where now I can pretty much depending on the height and everything and the strut mounting, I can pretty much make any strut work on the Escort. I mean, like these here are just lower mounts that I cut off of an old strut. And I'll be duplicating these so that way I can make different suspensions just to work with different stuff, see what works. It's not a lot of aftermarket out there for these cars, so I try my best to keep something like that going so I can say, well, hey, I can just use these struts off this car and just made them up, and that way I got different options to change springs or what I want to do. So So yeah, I just want to give everybody some knowledge on that as much as I could. But like I said, those numbers are important, and you got to learn what these numbers represent. Like I said, reading left to right, your first number on the EBOC ground control setup, your first number is going to be your height, spring height. Your second number is going to be the spring diameter, and the third number is going to be the weight rating of the spring. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope I could teach somebody something tonight by, with this little bit of knowledge that I got on spring rates and stuff like that, spring heights and all that. And I really hope somebody could learn something from this for me. But yeah, guys, it's getting late, so I figured I'd make this video real quick. But I do appreciate everyone tuning in, and thank you so very much for the love, for the support. If you got any questions about, your spring rate and stuff like that on coilover sleeves or some full-blown coilovers, I mean, I can help you the best of my abilities. Like I said, I'm no professional when it comes to suspension, but I know what works for our cars. So I can point you in the right direction, but I can't tell you specifically what'll work for your vehicle. So everything's different. So, but thanks, guys, for the support and the love again. Please like and subscribe. I'm on 4 sources of social media if you need to get in contact with me. That's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So again, appreciate you guys for tuning in, and like I said, I try to be as detailed as possible with my content, and I hope everyone is learning from it. I actually had a guy message me on my YouTube channel a few days ago, and he told me thank you for the YouTube content I've been making on the transmission, the automatic transmission for the Escorts. And he pretty much told me that he's pretty much been able to rebuild his trans from my content, which is awesome. That meant a lot, because that means that I'm explaining this stuff to where people understand and they can take the content and run with it and learn. So that's what it's all about. So I didn't know it at once, and I was trying to get the game, trying to get the information and stuff, and a lot of it I have now, and so I like to share it with people that don't have it, or may pick up a service manual or something like that, and it won't tell them exactly what they want to know. You know what I'm saying? So again, thanks, guys. I appreciate it, and I believe that's going to conclude this video. And thanks again for watching. Appreciate the love and support. Again, if you guys got questions on coilover sleeves or full-blown coilovers, I'll do my best to help you guys and try to point you in the right direction. So just want to say thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you that watch my content and learn from it. Please, again, like and subscribe. And thank you so very much for watching again, and I will see you guys on the next one. Have a blessed day.